All right, guys, this is just going to be just a random one-off. I've managed to not be able to sleep right now, so I'm going to be giving a quick update once everybody connects up to stream here. Looks like everybody's connected up. So, I've not been streaming for a few months now. That's obvious if you look at my timestamps. Last time I played The Lords of the Fallen. Changed the name of the channel to better reflect the quality of what I've been doing recently. It's basically the Tommy Wiseau, The Room level of quality. The stilted dialogue and just random shit coming out of my mouth. Forgive my language. Never said this channel was for kids. Still isn't for kids. For those who've heard bits and pieces of the streams, you know that I've been dealing with some stuff. For those who haven't, I have, for the last year, been diagnosed with multiple health issues. Things that could be waved away by other things in my life. Allergies, family history of ear issues, cavity in my wisdom teeth. That actually were none of the above. Turned out I had a stage 2/3 chondrosarcoma in my nasopharyngeal, short version, in my nose on my left hand side, that's broken through the nasal wall and is in basically the whole left side of my face. It's not quite in my brain, so it hasn't messed up, snaking down my jaw. So pretty significant size. Uh, I've seen the MRIs, and it basically looks like my whole left side of my face is full of packing foam. And this has been making it very painful, as well to talk and eat off my. If I have to be very careful about chewing on my left hand side. The energy that it's taken and the amount of sleep I've lost because of the pain has made it pretty well intractable for me to continue my game streaming for the time being. And, of course, dealing with the ins and outs of going to treatment, getting all my testing done, things like that. To which there has been no treatment, by the way. It's all been the pre-op work that's been going on at this point. And I've been going to MD Anderson in Houston, Texas, which is a 4-hour bus ride from where I am. I've been very careful with the funds that have been given to me to deal with my cancer and my insurance, and been taking buses up there, staying there for 3 and 4 days at a time and coming back. So this doesn't allow me, with that amount of time investment back and forth, to spend that time playing games. So this channel has been on an extended hiatus due to that. Today is May 21st, 2025. I will be boarding a plane here tomorrow, the 22nd, at about 2:30 in the afternoon Central Time, to go back to Houston, and they're going to perform the surgery that will excise almost all, if not all, of the tumor from my head. And I will be then in there for a period of about 2 weeks recovering from that, because they are also going to need to remove parts of the bones in my legs and the muscle there to rebuild my face. This is serious stuff. Originally, they thought I was going to go blind, and that would have, of course, ended the channel and my job and a few other things besides. So I was quite depressed if you'd heard the previous streams. I found out back in April that the losing my vision was no longer a thing that was going to happen. So that changed my attitude a little bit. I'm a little bit more comfortable. They still want to do some radiation to clear out any stragglers, but it's a slow moving cancer that I have, so there's a timeline of years whether I do this or not on the radiation. My company has also decided to spin off from our parent company and has laid off quite a few workers. I'm not one of them, but they closed down one of our offices. So I will be trying to do this more in efforts to grow the channel, to give you all some more content to work with, hopefully a little better quality, which we all know is not going to be true because I can't shut up. And I have a one-man gig going on here. So, but the good news is I actually will be coming back. I will be, if this works the way it's intended, I'll be able to breathe through my nose again, be able to sleep all night. Won't be able to hear on my left side. I am going to go deaf. That's one thing they've never changed. But I didn't want to just leave this up. The what few videos you do see. I know places like Twitch have already removed pretty much 90% of what I've been putting out. So I did want to at least leave one more update here for y'all. If something happens and I don't make it off the table, which is still a possibility, though much slimmer than it used to be, I've got one thing to say. It's okay. Some of you don't like hearing it. Everyone wants you to fight to the end. But I'm nearly 50 years old. Looking at down the barrel, maybe having to start a third career. Doing something like this. Or going back into the workforce again. Starting over from scratch where I've worked for 14 years at my last job. I've done animal rescue, and my job dealt with rescuing people, basically, as medical device technical support, those who haven't heard that part of the story. I've done enough for the world and not really gotten a whole lot back. It's not sour grapes. I've just never got married, never found someone. Obviously don't have kids because I'm conservative. I will openly admit I'm conservative. So I've not just been out there, randomly doing the Nick Cannon thing, impregnating as many people as possible to keep my genius alive. But I have my affairs in order. My dogs are taken care of. I have family members that will take care of my animals, so if anything happens to me, they're not a worry. So I don't want anybody listening to this thinking I've given up fighting, because I'm going into surgery on Friday, for heaven's sake. But understand that if this is the last word you hear from me, that sometimes it's okay to say you've done enough. And it's time to move on to the next adventure, whatever that may be. I know my beliefs tell me I don't want to hear necessarily yours. I'm not going to diminish yours, and I appreciate you don't diminish mine. If I make it, I've got ideas of some things I'm going to play. Again, for those notice the channel, I play what I like. I don't play what's popular all the time. I've tried to do some of the popular stuff at the time it came out. I'm just lost in the sea of voices. My preferences are life sims, things like The Sims. I don't do them for challenges anymore. I don't do that right now. Inzoi, once it becomes a little bit more stable, I may start doing that. You might see some more first-person shooters, some things off of Game Pass, where I basically stream from those programs particularly. And yeah, if I start over again, I'm going to be doing about once a week. If I don't have to basically sell my working soul to work 12 hours a day to pay my cancer bills that are remaining after the insurance, and the critical care insurance covers what it does. I will just briefly say here, MD Anderson is great. If you don't mind going to Houston, if you don't mind having to spend, they will try and consolidate it all into as many visits in one day as possible, in as few days as possible in a row. Though that will mean some days you'll feel like you're there from dawn till dusk, till they basically run you out the building. I honestly will. It's the size of a small town in there. It's very condensed. You are going to want to lean on whatever resources you can get there if you get there, whether it be your own health insurance, any cancer referrals you get from your healthcare teams in your local areas. I will also advocate that if your job has critical care insurance and you've not taken it because you think you're going to be okay, take it. Take that extra money out. Get the critical care at the highest level you feel comfortable. And if they offer you multiple levels that you can afford, it will, if you're willing to go through the process of filling out the paperwork and get everything submitted, it will help you so much. I honestly, without my critical care, would not be doing this. I would already have given up and probably done something to myself. I am well aware my personality would lead toward that. So, yeah, I had cancer still. Or for the first time here, if it's the first time you heard it because of the timeouts and different things, I have cancer. It's not an aggressive form. It's a rare form that only shows in about 14% of people when it's in your head. Chondrosarcomas are not rare in bone marrow, things like that. But for this particular instance, they are being very aggressive. It's still possible I could lose my eye, depending on what they end up doing at the end of the day to get to it. And I only have the one eye, if you haven't heard me say that before. Again, too, a lot of people joined listening to this for the first time. If they just saw the cancer update, wondered what this was. I will be seriously rethinking my plans if I lose the eye. Of course, because I can't do this anymore if I can't see. But everyone wants me to be positive, so I'm going to tell you I'm not going to lose it just yet. This is a very I set of statements. I also I'm also fighting with someone over essentially a financial abuse situation where I was taken advantage of, and I'm trying to sort that out. It's not catfishing per se, but the person was much dumber with their money than they let on, and ended up pulling me along with them. And I'm fighting to get some of that money back because I did use some of my critical care funds to help them out. And they're swearing they're going to pay me back. So this is, my verbal admission that I was stupid there. But when you're not feeling well and you feel like there's nothing there, anybody trying to be positive or caring towards you might lead you to do stupid things. And that's how I ended up there. I've been talking about this for about 15 minutes now. I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but I guess I did. I've not flown on a plane before, so tomorrow's going to be a new experience for me. I've got a car reserved, things like that. I only flying because I have a family member coming with me that's in a wheelchair, and getting on the bus for them would be the 4 hours bus ride would not be their idea of a good time. I have plenty of YouTube videos backed up that I could keep myself amused for 4 hours. So there's that. I'm going to be staying on site. There's a hotel near the MD Anderson Cancer Center called the Rotary House, and that way they can come and go without having to worry about getting an Uber or calling for shuttles, things like that. And I guess that's the most worthwhile part of this I can tell you right now. Here we are. I may come back, I may not. I have cancer. I'll say it again. If you haven't heard the back cheap seats, me and my little otter friends have cancer, and we got to deal with that before I can get back on here and keep you all entertained. Or at the very least, make you all cringe horribly. I could do either one and be very, very happy, as long as you all watch me. Watch because you like me, watch because you hate me. I don't care as long as you're watching me, as they say out there. And other than that, may whatever deity or whatever spirit you choose to influence your life positively, may they do so. I will say God bless because I do believe in God. I will ask that you keep me in your thoughts most of the 23rd, if you can, because this is going to be a 12 to 16 hour surgery. But otherwise, be safe, everybody. Next thing you see on here will either be telling you I've recovered, or I'll be talking BS about games or dogs. Don't try to show photos of my dogs on here, because the camera I have is nice, but the place I'm recording from is not. I'm recording from a bedroom, guys. Let's be honest. I am not running a high-class setup here. It's not it's a junky room, and it's not somewhere you're going to see my pets. But I hope you all are safe. Tomorrow begins the adventure, the last part of the adventure that I've not shared with everybody so far. And again, for checking this out, thank you. Like, subscribe, share. If you like my other stuff, share the actual other videos other than the cancer update, really. And that's all I can really say.